and you were talking about the what do you call it? Point touching, like the clock ticking down.
Yep.
And that had happened to me a few games ago. And as I was watching the
Yep.
VOD, I noticed, and I don't know if this is common knowledge or not, but the clock, how it changes to tenths of a second,
Mm-hmm.
when it gets to point 0.5, it clicks to 0 immediately. There's no
Mm.
point 0.4, point 0.3, point 0.2, point 0.1, and I think I don't know if that's a
Could
replay
be.
thing, but that's what I noticed.
Could
Yeah.
be. That'd be
So you can
something to
even see
look
it. You can
into.
see it on the YouTube thing too.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll go recheck that out because that's interesting. I mean, we've certainly seen that happen, and it's not like it's a problem every time, but there's definitely some last moment contests that certainly should be in time, but seem to not count. That's weird. Okay, okay. Good to see you went investigating. Anything else anything else question or comment wise you want to cover before we let the gameplay speak for itself?
Uh, Ryan's shatter starts from his back foot, does it?
Oh, I don't know. They've reworked it so many times.
Okay, okay.
I don't
I think I
know
heard Flat
anymore,
say
I'm
that
afraid.
once.
That I
Yeah.
believe that's the current iteration, but I'm afraid I don't know what it is anymore because I had a time when I was out. I know when it started from the hammer. If it starts from the back hood, I'd buy that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, and I guess that's it before we
Cool.
go.
It's an honor fighting by your side, man.
Oh, you always were a
Okay.
charmer.
Let's make sure we're set here for the appropriate rewind. Not that we'll ever have to rewind, because everything's going to be perfect. There's going to be nothing to comment on.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I was kidding.
Oh,
Shoot.
yeah. So was I. Maybe I should real quick. So this is the second review I've done with you. The first one was a Kings Row game,
Yep.
and we talked about grouping up, making sure your team's with you, and bending rather than breaking.
Yes, we did. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And so, oh, sorry, there's actually a little more to that because it was a sort of a general question. So that was right before the Rhine nerfs went live, and
Mm-hmm.
so right after the Rhine nerfs went live, I like plummeted a bunch of SR because I was like, oh, I'm getting used to them,
Yep.
and then I climbed back up to where I had been, which is low gold,
Mm-hmm.
and I can comfortably sit around 2100. But I found that I was having this weird thing where I could climb to 2200 and
Mm-hmm.
feel like, okay, I'm doing real good, like I'm doing a lot of damage, I'm making the diff, and then without like changing much, I would start like plummeting, and I mean, I plummeted down to like 1700 or 1800 like at one point, and then I'd climb back up, and it felt like, I don't know, it felt like this really weird series of like win streaks and loss streaks. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know if that
Some
indicates anything or what.
well, a couple things going on there. Some of that is normal win streak. Now, 400 SR swings shouldn't be win streak and loss streak stuff. There is some amount of tilt going on there because your gameplay isn't changing 400 value. Streaks are not going to be that long without your gameplay changing, but that it is very normal for people's gameplays to change when random streaks show up. Like you're working to improve on something, so you're playing a little bit worse, and then you go on a loss streak, or maybe you're not working to improve on anything. You just go on a regular loss streak. Maybe that's 5, 6 games. That happened. That's not a statistical impossibility, etc. And then you start to get a little bit worried because you notice your SR is going, and you consciously or unconsciously start shifting how you're playing to try to carry your way back in, and it doesn't really work. And then you get down to a different place in the bladder where you actually do need to play a little bit differently, but you don't know how to play that little bit differently. Like it sort of adds up
Mm.
on top of itself. So
Yeah, I
it's
felt
not
that. Okay.
it's not crazy. The other thing that's probably going on there is there's been a little bit of a meta shift. I mean, Reinhardt got weaker, and you might not have immediately felt it when Reinhardt got weaker, or maybe you did, but the ladder also adjusts to Reinhardt getting weaker. You're probably seeing a little bit more Winston play. You know, they're playing that more in Owl. He's got the extra armor that he got a few patches ago. Reinhardt no longer has extra armor. You might be seeing a little bit more of that from the other team, and that might be hurting you a little bit. Or your team might be starting to get a little less comfortable. I don't really buy that because the truth is in bronze to plat or so, they're pretty consistently they like Reinhardt. They want to play around to Reinhardt, but there's a little something to that where the meta has shifted a little bit. There's potentially a little something to that in terms of meta shifting a little bit, but mostly the former would be my expectation.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is around 2100, I think.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay, so I would have liked you to block that. This might seem minor.
Oh, the volley.
Exactly. But you know he's been charging it, and you can go, hey, I'm going to take out this. This is fine. But you've already connected with this swing, and yes, your backswing will come through pretty quickly, but he's been charging this volley for a moment now, so he's got some damage. You might as well just block this. Like, there's very little reason not to have had your shield up for this. Especially because you then turned your camera back to put him in the center of your screen. If you hadn't turned your camera back, your hammer would have hit him faster because it would have started its new hit it would have started its new hit faster and got him. But you turned to the center too, so like we have objections there. But back to our Ryan. Okay. There's very little reason not to try to go for the counter pin here. So you're doing this, you go for that, which is, maybe a little questionable. You could do that, and now we're sort of in, hey, it's time to shield range. Like, and we do, I hope, shield in the air. We don't shield in the air, we go for the swing. Okay, that's a little interesting. I don't really care if you eliminate him or not. I am way, way more interested in you surviving. And right now, go ahead.
The Lucio was saying, Ryan, put your shield up, Ryan, put your shield up, and I listened to him, unfortunately.
You did or you did not listen to it? Oh,
I
got it.
I listened to him at the very end.
Got it. Yes, the one time it was wrong, which was right here. Unfortunate. Okay. Your team will get him, so it's not the end of the world. It just costs you guys a little bit of positioning. Well, okay. It also costs you guys like 450 ult support charge, but hey. Okay. Okay, so if we go back here you are, well, let's go back a little further. You're mostly coming up here because of how you pad through. You have full shield, so there's very little reason not to have it. Yep. And then you decide that this is where you're going to enforce. It puts you closer to your support team. And you don't really have the resources to be pushing this, unfortunately. Like, you're not going to get a Zarya bubble, right?
Right.
And you don't really have armor right now. So, like, if your Winston bubble was down and you could use it as a shield to empower your swings, sure. But I'm sort of looking at this and going, I don't want to push into this. This is just going to put you in a status where now you're weak and they know you're weak when they potentially didn't know you were weak before. And now it's actually harder for you to hold this than it would have been beforehand because you've paid some more health. So, and you're more likely to force your Lucia's amp, to force your Anna's nade, etc., which isn't amazing. And then you go for that, which I have no idea about that swing. Like, that swing just makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, you can drop your shield and go take your corner. Plenty of health. I'm perhaps a little surprised here at what you're choosing to do.
Yeah, I saw the Mercy res and my brain shut off, and I just zeroed in on the Mercy res.
Okay. Because this is you pushing yourself into a situation where now they have angles on you, and we don't like angles.
Yeah, I felt that immediately. I was like, oh, I'm in a concave. This is bad, and I think I die here.
Yep. So you could have just pushed this Moira, and that would have been perfectly fine. But all good.
Ready.
Feel the healing beat. This is gonna make you feel better.
Activated.
Okay. Okay. This is actually a little early since I know last time we did talk about engage timing. This is a little bit early because this might not feel like an engage. This might feel like you getting close to the team. But is there any point between where you are now and the opponents where you'll be able to change your mind and stabilize?
When as soon as Sig started ulting, I figured I'm just gonna like I can't get out of that.
Sure.
I'm gonna just take the ult and stabilize around the corner.
Sure. So let me rephrase. You're pushing. Is it correct that you're pushing?
No, it is not correct.
Oh, okay. What are you doing?
Making a mistake.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean is you pushing correct. I meant is it a correct read that you're pushing right now? But okay, got it. Yes. So you're making a mistake right now. Okay, you recognize that?
I did not realize because okay, so
Sure.
the Lucio had been spamming the Lucio O's line, so I squelched his chat real quick before I had gone down or like as I was going down into the bottom right.
Sure. And you lost track of your
And
team.
the last thing I knew, I had more people with me. I didn't
Okay.
realize that they had. I don't know why they went to the left. Nobody said like, "Hey, we're gonna do a split push" or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or I was like, well,
It doesn't
so I didn't.
super bother me that they went to the left either. It's just, if you delay this a second and a half, 2 seconds, it's actually going to be, hey, these guys are paying attention to you while your team is shooting them. Whereas now, that's not really happening quite yet. So, like, you're not getting the value out of that. But, okay, yep, no problem. And yeah, now you're just going to absorb the flux. That's fine. He's committing. You're going to commit. You're kind of looking hard for the shatter. So here you are. And again, that Sigma's there. That's a fine choice. Swinging at the Sigma. That obviously is a close hero. You're not going to be able to stay on the Zarya because Winston's dealing with that. So those would be good choices. Not sure why you're going over here. I think it's because you're trying to find this big shatter. You don't get to like play in your own backline to find big shatters, and that's sort of what you're doing right here. Like it's like, oh, let me go try to do this. You can't be missing that long. You can't be not getting swing value for that long. While the fight is going on like this, it compromises your team's position too much. And now you're gonna hit the shatter, and that's cool and all. But it really needs to be like, let's redo how we do this, and this becomes a. Maybe you walk at the Zarya, you see your Winston's on the Zarya, so you turn and you swing at these guys. And that's going to be a lot of value. And you still have a very real chance of pushing these guys back if you go and swing at them. You can intentionally angle yourself this way so you're more likely to push them back. And then you've still got that same shatter. But you didn't do this, I'm not protecting my team, we obviously, I'm not telling you to be a shield bot, but you protect your team by being aggressive with your hammer, etc. And you're not doing this right now. You're sort of spending time rotating, etc. to get a big play, sure, but this is a lot of downtime. And I think you could have gotten this play the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing?
You can tell I felt really uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, yeah. I totally can tell you feel uncomfortable. So here we go. And you're going, well, what do I do from here? Well, they have control, not you, so just stalling yourself out isn't really a solution unless your team is calling that they're super close to something. The truth is your team has beat, so if you actually go aggressive on the Sigma, Lucio might beat you and that'll be fine. And you'd like to go, hey, I want to cut off the concave. I want to clear something at the edges. And this guy's too far away at the edges. I can't push at Zarya because everyone will be able to shoot me. So my right answer is to push at Sigma. Even though I'm low health and I don't particularly want to swing right now, it might be a case of I try to just hold my shield up until Moira heals me and I spam healing. Or it could be a case of recognizing we have beat. I think he's going to be willing to. Oh, they're not your Moira, excuse me. Urana's gone, so this situation isn't going to get better. And since this situation isn't going to get better, you can't stabilize your way back into more health, and you don't have control of this right now. You just go right over here and try to swing your way, try to cut their concave, and hopefully Lucio beats. If he doesn't, it doesn't really change anything because you're not going to get healed back up by Lucio.
Right.
And you can't go here. Oh, worst
Yeah,
of all worlds.
it's such
Good.
a eureka moment. Like,
Yep.
hey, if you're in a C, just sort of pick,
Yep.
pick one end to work on rather than going into the middle. Like, it's so obvious now in hindsight, but like that's something I can work on definitely.
Yeah, definitely. We'll just train your brain to look for those specifically. It's all good.
And I think right now I'm just trying to heal up from the Lucio a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen,
I feel
but it's a
horrible
nice
now.
dream.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was sort of a you died a slow death without really getting anything done, getting any ult charge, and they had point control the whole time. So we don't really want to have that happen. We'd rather go out aggressively and fast, hammer blazing.
Yeah.
Team's here. Team's going. You see that team's going. You need to push. Really? Oh, I feel so robbed. I feel so robbed. Oh well. I mean, I understand what happened, but I feel so robbed that you don't get that barrier that I've been looking forward to all game. That's fine.
So is there something I could have done there, or was that just, oh well, unfortunate, on to the next fight?
Mostly
I'm sure there's
treating it-
like...
Yeah, I'm mostly treating it as going on to the next fight, but I can re-micro it for you. So what we do here, pushing in. We're a little late to realize that our team is in. Our monkey is already in, our bubble is down, our Lucio is already jumping in. Like, we're late on this. So there's that. We definitely have the ability to, block the stun. We do have the ability to do that. We can't just hold our shield up. We have to angle it and catch the stun a little bit to not get affected by it. And if we hadn't been stunned by it, there's a good chance that we'd already be here. And if we were already here, this barrier wouldn't have blocked the beat. And then we have beat to play with. And if we have beat to play with, we go do this. And this is mostly fine. And you're doing that. And now your shield should immediately go up. And you try to close the angle. Yeah, so your micro room was really at the beginning of the fight. Don't do it. Oh boy. I see the time, but okay. So, not the end of the world.
Yeah, they said somebody touch. And
Sure,
I said,
sure.
I have 180 health. I'm gonna wait till the last possible second.
Here's an extra 75 health. It's shiny. It's nice. Okay.
Brain turned off a little bit because I was watching the clock.
Yeah, I get it. And you're early. Like, well, we think you're early.
And I think the rest of this is just jump time.
Yeah, all good. Not a big deal. Obviously, the biggest thing we're seeing so far is kind of the concave, but also an unwillingness to go in, which might be tied to the concave. Where you're sort of playing outside, like for that shadow, where you're like, I don't want to go in, or I'm just sort of standing around with my shield up when they have control. Some of this stuff. So we can work on that.
On that shatter specifically, I think part of the reason that I was I was playing so like looking for an angle was that I knew the Zarya was there, but I didn't think to myself that Zarya her attention is being taken by the monkey. So it's kind of not a factor. It's like I didn't change my calculation. Even if I had changed it, would have still been wrong.
Yeah,
but, like,
I get it.
It also.
I get what you're saying.
But I called. All right, let's take control of jump pad.
Good. Okay. Okay, so you gotta block this. Like it's sort of that simple where like this is your matchup with the Sigma where you just go, hey, I beat you at close range. The only thing I need to worry about is don't get rocked, and as a much lower concern, oh yeah, I shouldn't send my fire strike into your shift. So like,
Yeah, I had already hit shift, I think.
oh okay, oh yeah,
Yeah, because I saw the May wall and I wanted to squish him in the May wall.
got it, okay.
Yeah. And I said pre-wasted his stun.
Still, this is
I called
gutsy.
it out.
This fire strike. A little too much attention being paid in your direction to justify that. Okay, so you need to decide where you're going. You're going here. You tried to bait the flash and you got it, and now you're just going to. Now what are you doing? I don't think you're going to get back anywhere before this Kree breaks your shield. I think you just need to be swinging at this Kree. Follow what I'm saying? Like, you already got the flash out. This battle isn't going to get better, and there's nowhere for you to go. So, like, yes, you might be thinking, I want to stabilize. I want to just sacrifice shield while my team forces out the McCree or the Doomfist, and then they'll go help. But honestly, I think you just go, I'm going to swing into this. An organized play, yes, you could do this. On ladder, I wouldn't. I'd swing at the Kree.
Okay.
There you go.
Get into position.
Is Mercy flanking on us? Okay. Okay, so we perhaps need to pay a little more attention to rocks. That's while you fire striked. Again, though, like, why is this fire strike really happening in the first place? She's not going to punish you. Like, she doesn't have a move to hit you with when you use fire strike. But, so, like, yes, you don't care if she right-clicks you. Like, who cares? But in general, this is sort of we know we don't want to fire strike in the open. Like, yes, maybe you've done your damage calcs and gone, it's fine, but this is sort of why I set the general principle of a rule rather than harping hard on doing the damage calcs. And we've seen this a couple times. We saw the fire strike just 10 seconds ago into game time wise into the McCree, etc. You can't do this. Why are you here?
I don't know where I want to be. Should I have pushed up? I can't really point it out.
Yeah, you can't. I can. So there's this Sigma who we can go, okay, I'm going to hold shield because I'm going to get stabilized. Like, you can go, I'm holding shield because I'm going to get stabilized. It's not happening. It's not happening. Fine. Now you're getting healed. You're getting healed hard. You're getting healed hard. Why are you still here? Like, yes, you're in the lamp, but your move is always, I don't want to just be in the open. I want to find a new set of cover, or I want to be swinging on enemies. So you have to decide, I need to retreat to cover. I can push forward to cover, or I can push forward to swing at enemies. So, like, this isn't a place that you're comfortable being at all. The only reason for you to stand here with your shield up is if there's someone in front of you that you want to swing at, so that Sigma a second ago, and you think you can actually get heals. If either of those aren't true, it needs to be, I'm going to a new set of cover, I'm going to a new set of cover, or I'm going to enemies to swing it. You weren't comfortable with your health. So as soon as that Sigma wasn't in front of you anymore, it could have been, I'm going to this set of cover, or I'm going to this set of cover. Either I'm at something I can swing at, or I'm at a set of cover. Okay?
So cover forward, cover back, enemies, or stabilize.
But even a stabilize is mostly I'm stabilizing in range of an enemy that I'm going to be able to swing at. You sort of follow what I'm saying? So, like, it's you shouldn't just stabilize in the open. You'd be better off stabilizing behind cover. If you're stabilizing here, it's because there's a Sigma that you want to be able to swing at literally as soon as you get healed, which would have been fine. Okay,
cool. All right.
So not Ryan dancing like this. Yeah. Okay. Now, those rocks. Okay, you're going to have to mentally track Sigma a little bit. See, you block micro missiles on reaction. Where's your rock block?
Honestly, sometimes I just see the rock and I think, all right, big deal.
And then you get stunned. But yes. Okay, so you have to decide on a side here. Don't let them trap you in this situation where you're sort of splitting the difference between the two. You got to pick one. And you might have picked wrong in this case, but hey, if you picked wrong and your team gets pushed, well, I guess I'm pushing the Sigma right back.
Yeah, so that was part of it. Is I didn't know. I was thinking to myself, do I want to be with my team, or do I want to be enforcing this corner so that it funnels them into my team?
You
I
would
didn't
have
know which
preferred
was.
to be here, but you
Okay.
can't get caught in no man's space. So if you see, oh shoot, it's too late, they're already here, and there's this Sigma here, well,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna go push the Sigma. Like, this isn't
Okay.
ideal of me, but the best thing I can do from this situation isn't to spend time going over here. It's I'm gonna push the Sigma. Maybe I'll take down the Sigma. At the very least, I'll clear space that my team can go through here if they want to. Like, I'm actually clearing a place for my team to rotate away from this aggressive push.
Okay. But as a general, is that a general rule of thumb, and especially specifically on this map on Oasis, where that situation where there's like two corners, you want to be, it's not you just pick one and fully enforce it, or you like trying to cover both
No,
options.
I can't give you the hard rule on that, and the reason I can't is because it depends how good your intelligence is and your scouting. How good your scouting is of like, hey, do I know where they are?
Hmm.
Okay, are there four people right here? Okay, I'm gonna be over on this side. Are there three people over here? I'm gonna be on this side. And you should
Okay,
have
okay.
some of that information. And you can get some of that information by going, I'm here, I'm gonna stick my shield into the wall and turn my camera and see past. You can do things like that. You have this grate that you can see through. Like, you do have tools and you have teammate callouts. So like, you do have and you have, hey, I'm peeking for a fire strike anyways, what do I see? Like, it's judged on that, and then
Got
you
it.
adjust. But if they're already like here-ish even, you don't have time to rotate, so it's I'm gonna go deal with this. Now if there was no one over here and there were six people over here, yeah, you'd go, okay, I'm gonna give it up and just run through here even if I'm a touch late. Hopefully I can make it in time. But when you've got it sort of like this, you retreating is like, now he's pelting us in the back and they're shooting us from this side. I'm going to go and clear the angle that I already have.
Okay, okay.
That was flash. That was flash. That's important. Okay. Good job. Nice job.
My Unga Bunga brain finally helped me out. I saw the Mercy res, and I just.
Finally titled her appropriately.
Yep.
Great. You don't need to back from this corner. So like, I see what you did here, but here, I'll show you. You have a bunch of beat health. You have a bunch of beat health. You still have some beat health, and you go, yeah, I'm gonna swing. Now my beat health's over, and I've done two swings. And I don't know if you're backing up because you did two swings, which is my expectation, or if you're backing up because your beat health's gone. But I'm going to look at it this way. You were getting three almost four-person cleaves with these swings, and if you keep swinging, you'll still get two-person cleaves, right?
Yeah, I might have been nervous because the hog went down. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
remember exactly what I was thinking in this situation.
Okay. I would have said, hey, I have health, let me keep spending it. Like, that's what I would have said
Okay.
here. The truth is, that might have been wrong, because if you actually are tracking where all of your teammates are and when they went down, your BAP is currently back in spawn and isn't going to heal you. So, like, maybe we have control and I should go, I'm just going to hold this corner, or maybe I'm going to back up to this new corner, etc. Like, that might be the correct answer. Turns out, your Lucio thought you continuing to swing was the correct answer because he's beating right now. But even if that wasn't the case, like, I like continuing to swing here too. If you had perfect grasp of, nope, I know that my BAP isn't here, I know, that really it's down to just the three of us now, maybe this is a case of, oh no, your Lucio already beat it, my bad, that's why the thing was still there. But like, we're looking at this, That's more swings that you could have had for sure. Like, and you would have believed that to be a up to 4-person swing because it was before the Moira did that. You have armor. This isn't going to get better. Your option here is you swing out or you hard retreat to this, then kite back to this, and you keep kiting. But you're still just doing work. So if you keep swinging into this, this could very well turn the fight.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of my soldier, I don't think.
Okay.
I have a real tough time keeping track of, well, 11 other people, I guess.
It's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. And that is what GameSense is, and that is you just sort of add to it 1 or 2 people at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, scary. I mean, it wouldn't have got you,
Yeah.
but
That Titanfall.
yeah. You can retake your corner. Yep. So you don't really need to back as much as you did in the first place here, where you sort of went, hey, we have control of this. You can back to here. That's fine. You don't really need to back to this. Your team has the sight lines. Your team is going to push forward. I'm not really worried about you getting overrun because your game sense, again, it's 11 other people. It's hard, but your game sense tells you there aren't 5 people here ready to push you. There aren't even 3 or 4 people here ready to push you. There's 2. 2 people can't really push you off your corner like this.
Right.
Especially with your team a second away.
Please, don't move.
You all look like you needed some healing.
It's going to be big. It's not, but it's going to work.
I tried it. I thought, let me get one swing
Swing,
in
shield
and
cancel,
turn and
yeah.
immediately shield.
Yeah, I can see. Works out. Works out.
Meteor strike.
Score 1-1. Ready for battle.
You flush, man. Need one for snowball too?
I guess it's a good thing I have you to watch my back.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And I said, let's take control of the left room,
Mhm.
and if they take high ground, who cares? We'll make a concave and poke them from the room.
Good answer. Good answer.
Because I just watched that thing where you reviewed the Oasis game, and I thought, let's try that.
Works for me.
And I think it worked out for us.
Don't you dare. Good.
I thought, wait a minute, let me peek the corner with my shield.
There you go.
So I stuck it into the wall, and I saw that the Zen was falling off.
Yep.
The objective is
I get that this was juicy. I'm just not sure I'd have recommended it. Like, I look at this and go,
the objective is
oh, hey, I could pin this. I could also swing at this for a ton. Like, yeah, I could pin
Yeah.
this, but I could swing at this for a ton, and I kind of like to eliminate that mercy, and yeah. And also, if this goes wrong, I'm stuck in here, and it's just a messy situation in here. But that's okay. Here we go.
That was too juicy. It's like the cartoons where they just turn into a giant chicken leg.
Mm-hmm. Reinhardt just starts salivating uncontrollably.
That's exactly what it was. Just a waterfall coming out from underneath the helmet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, take the corner. It's fine.
Activated.
This isn't amazing because it wasn't the corner we wanted in the first place. Like, this was I'm immediately fire striking, like I'm pre-fire striking, it's through here. There's no way for him to dodge this fire strike, right? Like, he's
Yeah.
going to get hit by that, so this is an immediate fire strike, and it's over to where your monkey is over, it's into shield up, into the scoot right. You want to get here where you're enforcing this corner. This corner you can't really hold because you have to use your shield to hold it, which is like giving away much of the advantage of a corner.
Right.
Unfortunate. Okay. I believe. Really? You're ducking when you should be dodging, and dodging when you should be ducking. Like this was a pin. You pin him in the back into your May wall, and even if your May wall goes down here, like he's not gonna 180 pin in time. And if he just reaction pins to hearing your pin, you're still gonna pin him. Like this is
It's clear now.
all good. Okay,
I think I saw the 86% and
yeah.
I wanted that shatter.
Okay.
But the pin was probably the... Because I could have got the shatter off the pin anyway. So.
Yep.
And then I saw that they got the Moira res, and I was like, oh god.
All
I went
good.
through all that just to kill the Moira.
All good.
I wanted
this
to
is
get on
one
the
of
other side of that map window.
Yeah. So this is a tough one. Totally get that you want to get on the other side of the BAP window, but they've got such a hard angle on you here that you just can't. And you're really, this is one of the few situations where you just go, I think I'm gonna be a firing window for my team. Like this is scary. This is here, etc. Like I think I'm just going to let my team try to clear these guys out because there's just a little too much going on. This guy's already going to be afraid to advance on you because of the window. Like this is one of those things where you sort of go, yes, the right answer would technically be to clear these, but it's not gonna. It's too much firepower. It's too much pressure right now. So you can either go, I'm going to shield up and just sort of hold this Reinhardt shot-sized gap, or I'm going to just sort of go back and enforce here and, you know, look for a better window to actually push in like this.
Got it.
Like, my Winston will give me an engage window. Yeah. Like this. Or my ice wall will give me an engage window. Or my beat will give me an engage window. Why is my shield... Okay, fine. Dang, there's... Okay. So, again, just microing this. We can... Oh, too far. It's just a little too much heat, and you can immediately feel that. So shield up, and then sort of get yourself back here until your Winston does something, is how we'd want to think about this. Because your Winston is also an initiation tank. Instead, you're sort of getting chunked. You're sort of in this situation. You can't... This is what we were talking about. The lamp goes down, so be it. Your Winston just initiated. You want to initiate off of this. Your Winston might be feeding, but he's initiating. This is as good as your window is going to get to push.
Yeah. I'm not taking enough cues off my team, I think, because I'm focusing on like, well, I'm gonna play independently. I'm gonna be the diff. It's got to be, it's solo queue. You got to blah blah blah, and it just makes me not aware of, oh, I need to initiate off my Winston, etc. So
yeah, and the thing is, you're Reinhardt, so you get a little more ability to go, I'm the leader. We're doing, what I want, etc. in some ways, but you have to remember, everyone is the protagonist of their own adventure, and everyone is like, I'm the leader. I'm doing the thing. So if you, when you can, and Reinhardt is not the best hero for this, but when you can support other people's plays, you're going to make those plays way more effective. And people on the other team aren't doing that in gold. People on the other team are all going, I do it on man. And even your engagement timing thing as Reinhardt is you supporting other people's plays. It's going, I would like to go fight. I would like to play Overwatch right now. But instead, I'm going to wait to play Overwatch at the same time that the other people on my team want to play Overwatch, right? You sort of waiting before you push in. That's what that is. And yeah. But when you have a double main tank like this, a Ball, a Winston, something like that with you, you can follow their cues. Not exclusively.
The Ornstein and Smog line.
What's that?
The Ornstein and Smog line, Winston, Reinhardt.
Yes. Okay.
I wanted the May with us.
Understandable.
Don't worry, my friend.
Okay, you can push this way.
This will do.
Where did your Sigma have time to set here? Ooh, yuck. Okay. You pushing through here. Great idea. And now you have to you have to immediately shield, and now you can't. Yeah, you have to respect the Reaper a little bit harder. He pretty much instantly demands that you shield in his direction.
Yeah, I had no awareness of where he was, and so all of a sudden I'm getting chunked in the back.
Yep.
I don't really know. I don't know what happened there. Like as I was playing, I was like, oh, I'm alone. That's
Sure.
upsetting.
Sure. We'll go from here. We can go, I suppose, back to the beginning of the fight. Close enough. You followed what happened here. I don't love that your team all crowded in here to fight this. Their Reinhardt was here. You going here to threaten, to pull some attention over here was good. Ideally, we'd have then seen your Sigma play from this direction, and we'd have seen value like that as opposed to this. You instead go, I'm going to make the best of it by going over here, which isn't like optimal. Usually it would be, hey, my team's behind me and my Sigma swings over here, but you doing this is fine. I don't necessarily have an issue with this. And as this is happening, you go, hey, I hit that, but there's a Reaper in your face, so it's instantly shield time. It is instantly shield time. Okay. You go for this, which is fine, and you miss it, but I'm okay because it was conceptually a good thing to do, and now you're down your bound. Turning for this swing is a little bit scary because I expected the Reaper was following you the whole time, but you really want this, and you again just lost half your health there, so you do need to 180 shield immediately. The Reaper is the one that can just end your life. Instead, you go for a Fire Strike. And you see your off-tank goes down.
I
And
think I was trying to stick the shield for the soldier.
Yep, that's what you're trying to do. And now you're just, like, it's a messy fight, but you're kind of behind in it. Like, yes, a lot of trading has happened, but hey, they're coming around on you here. You have the soldier, the Lucio, the Reinhardt. Their pieces of what's left on the board sort of work better. They have more pieces, and they have the angle over here plus the angle over here, whereas your Lucio's angle doesn't really count. It's, you and soldier on the same line. You get it.
I think I didn't notice that my off tank went down.
Yep. That'll do it. But you have Shatter, so you can be the big difference maker in the next fight.
Activating the barrier.
I want a new off tank. Sorry, I just desperately want him over here because the fact that your team is not a credible threat over here is why this Shatter isn't going to work. And your team is not aggressively enough here to follow up on the little bit of your Shatter that does work, which is unfortunate. And you should know this, by the way. You should know that your team is not here, which is, I think, where you actually want them. Yeah.
Yeah, in my gold brain, I saw them near the corner, and I was like, "That's the corner. That's fine." And
Unfortunately, you have to read their momentum. Okay. I mean, so I see the Shatter. Totally get that you want the Shatter. I see that Reaper. Swing. Great. Wait a second. That's still a Reaper in my face. I probably need to shield. Need to shield. Yeah.
This is not over.
The objective must be taken.
Okay. I'm not quite sure why you backed up here. Is it because you're worried that he's going to charge you? Why did you back up?
That's a great question. I'm trying to remember. I think I thought I don't feel comfortable pushing into that,
Hmm.
so I need to pick I need to pick a corner and not just be standing here. I could
Right.
tuck to the right,
Right.
but I didn't know what the situation was on the point, and so I thought I'm gonna safely tuck around behind
Okay.
farther.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what I was thinking.
Okay. I would have greatly preferred that you take this, but I do understand. It is right to go, hey, I'm going to go to a corner. This is just your, if you think of sort of how the map divides here, well, they now have the map if you retreat to this one, and I don't think he's going to punish you for taking this one, but yes, it could be that the situation on the point is so bad that you will get decimated by taking this one. It's not, but it could have been. Okay.
Yeah, there are some games where I can have a pretty good estimation of what my team is doing without looking at them, and this was not one of those games. I had no idea what they were doing.
All
Not to
good.
be the guy who like blames his team or anything, but I was like, I can't get in their
Right,
heads. I don't
right.
know what they're gonna be doing
I
at this point.
totally understand.
And and then I decide that corner's fine anyway. But I think that's because I heard the Lucio start to bleed.
Want that one back. Cool. Shield, shield, shield. You can't force it anymore. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is good, and this greed is good. This greed is good, but it's over. It's over. And you have to
Yeah.
recognize that it's over now of like he's getting too much heals now. Like his health is not going in the right direction. And I can't do that, and I followed him way around a corner. My team can't support me. Look at this window that can't do squat to help me. Look at this Sigma barrier that
Yeah.
can't do squat to help me. You get it. And you're totally broke line of
Yeah.
sight on your team. Your healers can't see you. It's over.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like if I just believe hard enough that his health is gonna start going down, it'll start going down.
I know, but that's probably the game right there. Like that is the
Yep.
the team fight.
That's what I said. That I think I made a couple feeds there that made the diff, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, unfortunate, but hey, as long as you're getting better, it's not a problem. And it's not like
It
your
was- that
teammates
was a
didn't
rough
make
one.
feeds too. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay then. Great. Bye, Reaper. And you come back on Hammond? No, you're gonna come back on Reinhardt. Okay.
Yeah, let's move it, people.
They're still fighting me yet.
Overtime.
Go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Come out and face me.
Okay. Okay. You're trying to bait that flash. Great. Almost. Almost. I don't have an issue with much that went on there.
Yeah. See, in my mind, that was my bigger feed, but now I'm completely completely aware that it was the feed before. That
No, it was the
really
feed
diff.
before. Like, I look at this one, and you're already down in this fight. You have to make something happen in this fight, right? Like, if you think of the
Yeah.
status of the battle, you can't just play conservatively. They will win if you both play conservatively, so you have to be trying to force something. And this McCree looks like a chink in the armor to force to me. Uh-huh. Not quite. And you get it. You got the Lucio. There's a thing here, and they're still not in great shape. And this McCree's reloading, even if the bubble's up. And you even almost take down the Zarya. You almost took down all that. This was fine. This was not the fight. The
Okay.
problem. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's that.
so if we look at your Reinhardt, there's really three things that I'm going to say. The three things
Oh, let
that
me
I'm...
grab a pen.
Sure.
Sorry, it's
No
right
problem.
here. Okay,
No
I'm good.
So the first thing is how you break concaves effectively needs to be understood, and that's you fight it at the edge. You don't walk into the middle of it. You fight it at the edge, and you force back the concave. You break a side of the concave to force it into a straight line. And I think you intuitively know that now. Not you intuitively know that. I think you do know that now. You do see that having looked into the replay. So I think it just needs to become a case of anytime I see this formation, anytime I feel uncomfortable, I need to back out of this concave that I'm at and go to the new place. That's what I need to do. So like that's going to be the first thing. After you've got that, you've spent the, hey, 15% of your brain power, however many games it takes. The next thing that you're going to work on is, hey, I need to always be going from cover to cover with my shield, or I need to be stabilizing I, as Reinhardt, either want to be at cover or standing in front of something that I can swing at. If I'm not in one of those two places, I need to be moving. So, like, if I'm standing in front of something that I can swing at, but I can't swing at it because my health is low, we talked about that. You might be getting stabilized, and then you're going to be able to swing at it. Okay. If you are standing in the open and things are shooting at you, that's not okay. You should not be standing in the open. You should, if you just feel uncomfortable, if you're in the open, you need to either be getting to cover or getting to something that you can swing at. That cover might be in front of you, or that cover might be behind you. Either of those can be fine, but you need to make a decision and immediately be heading towards cover. Even if you change your mind on the way to the cover and instead go to the different cover, or instead go up to swing at someone, that's fine. But you shouldn't find yourself in situations where you're just standing in the open. Okay?
Right.
Okay. And then after you've worked on that, and those are going to by far be the two bigger things, it's going to be respect for two particular matchups. And the respect that you need to think through your two particular matchups more closely are Reaper. You just need to respect that he exists more and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to shield. And that can be I swing at him when he's reloading. That can be I swing at him once when I have full health and then I immediately break it into a shield. That can be I swing at him to try to force Wraith. And, that can be things, but you need to respect that the Reapers exist. You need to mentally track in close quarters the Reapers much more closely and aggressively than that you are, because they demand your shield. Okay?
Yeah.
And then the second thing is just, Sigma has a rock.
I knew it. I knew the rocks were going to come back to haunt me.
Sigma has a rock, and block it. He's pretty harmless to you at close range if you block his rock, and it's not that hard to block his rock. It's got a pretty big wind up. So just do it. And again, those aren't a big deal, but you are going to want to get
not?
Exactly.
Yeah,
You are going to want to get to the point where you're working through those, where you're working through your specific matchups. We're teaching you to play Overwatch as Reinhardt, yes. And yes, you understand. You go to your cover, you do this to get your Earth Shadows, you do this, you use cover like this, you get your push timings like this. But there are other heroes that you do actually have to play the video game against, and you should learn your matchups.
Yes.
Okay. So I think that does it. Do you have any questions, anything specific you'd like to get into, either on any of those or on something else?
No, not really. I'm still having trouble blocking shatters on reaction, and I'm still wondering, or I'm still figuring out how far I can be. There's been a couple times, and of course I don't have any VODs of this, but there's been a couple times where I have been at max hammer range with another Reinhardt, and I've been ready for that shatter. I'm looking, I know he's going to shatter. I know he wants to shatter, and I hear "huh" from hammer down. I hear "huh," and I immediately right click, or it feels like I do, and I still get shattered. So I don't know. I tested I tested my reactions on one of those sites or whatever, and it's my reactions are not great at all.
Sure.
But they're a little bit better than average. So I'm wondering if it's just I just can't block them on if it the hat is too late.
Well, it's also a latency thing. What's your latency?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's horrible, and it's usually pretty.
Oh, okay. Well, you can check. So what you do is, if you can see my screen right now, let me see if I can remember where this is. This is under. Is this under gameplay? No. This is under. Okay, so under video, we went to video, and then we go here, and then we can go show network latency, and we can have that on. And you don't see it for me right.
Yeah. Got it.
And you can't see it now because I'm in a replay and I don't have latency to the server. I'm in a replay. It just, effectively downloaded. Like, it doesn't need to worry about reaction times, things like that. But it could be a latency thing where, hey, your latency, because your reactions, with average reactions, you should be able to do it. Some people have worse than average reactions and they can't. But with average reactions, it should be doable as long as you're also being a bit, it's not actually all reaction that we focus for, it's also anticipation. And I'm not saying you block it before he starts it. Like, I'm not saying that, but being prepared for it does mentally help. But it sounds like some of those are still getting by you. And if that's still happening and your reactions are average or a little better than average, it could still be latency. If it's not, well, then you're just going to have to get a little bit better of, okay, I'm giving myself a little more than max hammer range. Like, I'm pulling away as I finish my hammer strike type thing. Like, it just becomes it's tougher, but you got to work with what you got to work with. We sort of get into, this would be the McCree's equivalent of, okay, well, at some point you do have to aim better, McCree. You get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll check that out. Thank
Cool.
you.
Cool.
And that's it. Besides that VOD thing, or not the VOD thing, but the clock thing. I'm pretty sure it goes from 0.5 seconds, and the round immediately ends after that. Don't
That
know if
could
that's
be
a
replay
VOD
or
thing or if it's the.
We've seen some interesting replay things where, like, I've seen melee animation cancels for Winston that on one viewing of the replay are there and on the other aren't, and it's just like, wait, what? And things like that.
Yeah.
So there are some funkiness to replays, but I don't know. I'm gonna watch recorded games more closely for it now.
Yeah. It was I was robbed on my Anubis game, but all right.
Okay, sounds good. I'll talk to you later, man. Good luck.
All right.